Thank you very much, sir, Professor Dr. Naeem Saab. I'm privileged, and thank you very much for a nice introduction. And I'm also thankful to University of Education, especially Dr. Mudassir, for giving this opportunity to share the story of aquaculture. As sir mentioned, we strongly believe that fish is a future protein, and based on that, we come up with this tagline, and we started to celebrate this World Fishery Days in different way, and we come up with this idea to share the small videos, Aqua in depth in 60 seconds, and which generally tell us that how we rear the fish, how we market the fish, and what are the nutritional benefit of this fish. So this could be the information which create awareness in the general public and in our final consumer, because in Pakistan, when we look around in the livestock poultry segment, including aqua, so these all need to have a balanced marketing system, and of course everything ends when we have a prosumer demand and market. This will come up to the profitability of the business. So as sir mentioned, every year we come up with the new tags and with the new ideas. So this year we come up with this idea like how we can make a difference. So the tagline for our team is let's make a difference, because this is what we need in our industry. Either it's aqua, either it's agriculture, either it's livestock, either it's poultry. So our job is like how as a professionally we can give our inputs and we can make a difference. So first of all, many congratulations to all the professionals, all the stakeholders from the aquaculture. Today is the World Fishery Day, and जैसे कि हम इस बात को बार-बार ज़हन-नशीन कराने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं कि मछली मुस्तकबिल की प्रोटीन है. So this is something is very interesting, and if we tag this thing and we need to make it reach to the bottom to the people so that they can understand what are the benefit of the fish and how it can be supportive and how it can help in the stunted growth which we are already facing in Pakistan. So how we can move forward, so what ideas can be incorporated to make this industry a milestone ahead from other industries. So thinking and working in collaboration is a way forward. So we know that we have all the resources, we do have experts, and even we can pull around the resources from the globe, because if I talk about Alltech, we have this privilege and we have this opportunity. We're working in 128 countries. So more or less all those countries already working in the aquaculture and being the second largest producer of the feed mill and working in the aquaculture, which means that any idea we think of it, we can bring it down to Pakistan and we can make it available and we can define those solutions locally. So once again, happy World Fishery Days to everyone, and a lot of contributions are being done in order to give the recognition. So the topic assigned to me was the status of aquaculture and fisheries in Pakistan. So I guess this is something very important, and if you look around the history, this aquaculture and fishery has been started almost 2 decades before, and in which we have learned that the numerical values has shows that what are the marine catch and what are the aquaculture catch. So I'm going to show some of the figures which are the aquaculture facts that we are having in comparison with the world where Pakistan stands. So when we talk about the production, so we look at the global production of aquaculture, it's around 80 million tons, and when we talk about Pakistan, it's 1,100,000 tons, and when we look at the wild catch, it is almost like 100,000 metric ton. So this is also a clear indication that there is a gap, and we learned this thing, and this is a cry of the day that more than 70% of the wild fish stock is depleted because the dependency was more into that. So this create an opportunity for the aquaculture. So when we talk about the aquaculture, so over half of the seafood eaten worldwide, 5.8 comes from the aquaculture region. So when we compare with the Pakistan is still in infancy state. But this is something is an emerging opportunity for us, and we need to think that what areas we can improve. Either we start from hatchery, we start from the farming, we start from the feed side, we start from the processing, we start from the marketing campaigns, are the nexus between private, public, and the stakeholders. So we can improve that. So this is something as an opportunity. So we all should pass on this resolution on this day, that how we can support each other by coming up with our potentials areas where we can support the industry, and we all work together, think together, and come up with a collaboration that will support us in the coming future. So when we talk about the growth rate, we have seen that globally it is 5.8%, and in Pakistan is approximately 1.5%. And here is a big difference of consumption. When we talk about the consumption globally, it's 20 plus kg, and in Pakistan it's reported 2 kg. So this is an opportunity. Already we are protein deficient, and this is one of the finest protein, and it could be available on affordable price. So the need of ours is to create the awareness, make it available, and to preserve the quality of the fish in terms of operating through better supply chain systems, and creating a better marketing with the value addition. So that's what I think is the area which needs improvement. Of course, all other areas are working in collaboration, and once we get all dots connected, so at the end of the day, I have a very every confidence in this fact that our per kg consumption will go up. So there are 580 aquatic species which are formed, and once we talk about Pakistan, here another opportunity where we can work on the species, we are limited to the carp, tilapia, and trout. So 80% of all farms globally, they are shrimp based, and the government is taking initiative for shrimp farming, which is again a very positive step. When we talk about the trade value, it is like 231.6 billion, and when compared to the Pakistan, still we are $293 million trade we are doing through this segment of the industry. 20% of the animal proteins come from fish. This means that we have to depend more, and ultimately, in order to cover up the animal protein based requirement, we have to work on the species which has less effect on the environment in terms of the carbon emission and depleting the resources of the future. This is something is very important to understand in terms of the effect on the environment. It is considered to be the much safer species to grow, and in Pakistan it has 0.4% share in the GDP. Employment, of course, livelihood of many people, it is linked with the aquaculture, and in Pakistan approximately 390,000 people they are directly involved in this. Aquatech revolutions are coming, and Pakistan is still is a virgin market, and all of the adaptations are coming in hatchery, coming in the farm management, in the feeding and the processing. So there are enormous opportunities which tell us that the Pakistan is a key country to focus on the aqua side. When we talk about the supply chain, this is something very important to understand when we look at the business canvas of the aqua. So everything starts with the HR, because this is something is the first of the fundamental principle that once we don't have the professionals, once we don't have the skilled people working for this segment, this is for sure, and this is guaranteed, we can't move the way we want. So first focus should be on our HR, then moving towards the hatcheries, farmers, feed mill, middlemen, and of course our market segmentation is in the export market, processing, and the retail market. So this is something is a general supply chain, but one of the important parameter of the this supply chain is human resource. So we need to focus on those. So when we talk about the hatchery status, of course we are not scale up to the modern facilities, but still we are managing well. People are doing great job in the available limited resources, but there are opportunities where we can work on the food stock management, genomic mapping. We can work on the larval nutrition. We can work on the early mortalities and the seed qualities. We need to work on the reliable supply resources, because this is something very important. The seed is the basic profitability element for the farmer. So if he get any problem with this after 8 months or 1 year time, so he will be losing his profitability because he was not getting the quality resources. So lack of skilled laborers and manager, lack of innovative technologies, equipment, and the local adaptation, environment and the local adaptation. These are very important things. So we are a blessed country where we have a different dynamics in terms of environment, different dynamics in terms of the season. So we need to adapt and we need to learn how we can grow these specific species and how we can work on this, the breeding or the species management side. So fish welfare, again, this is very important to understand that we should not, I just want to share one interesting story. Last night I got a call from someone that he saw some of our campaigns where we were talking about मछली मुस्तकबिल की प्रोटीन है, तो he was saying कि जी कि मुझे अपने घर के लिए कोई हर हफ्ते बाद में 10-15 किलो मछली चाहिए होती है. तो मैंने कहा सर we are not into this business, but you are a well educated person and I will definitely say someone and I will get it arranged and you will get it delivered at your home in Lahore. लेकिन उसको एक बड़ा इंटरेस्टिंग क्वेश्चन था, सर ये मछली लाइव होती है? तो मैंने कहा व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय लाइव, आप लाइव किस तरह डिफाइन करें? उसने कहा जी मुझे जिंदा मछली चाहिए विद इन द टैंक्स, जहाँ पे मैं खुद उसको वहां से कैच करके फिर अपने सामने साफ करूँ. तो मैं उसकी रीजन क्या है? तो ही टोल्ड मी दिस फैक्ट जी कि आई केम टू नो कि जब ये मछली की कैचिंग की जाती है पॉन्ड्स पे या फॉर्म्स पे तो उसको करंट लगाया जाता है. तो ऑनेस्टली मुझे इस बारे में नहीं मालूम. तो मैंने कहा जी हमने तो अभी तक जितनी मछली खुद भी कैच करवाई है या पकड़ी है.
Speakers from Thailand and Turkey, so kindly continue in English. Thank you very much.
Okay. So they were just talking about on the on this type of what point I want to put forward over here is the fish welfare is very important, and we know that the slow spawning is one of the limitation, and we can improve it better in order to cope up with the KPIs of the hatchery. So when we talk about the feed mill status, of course, right now, as I mentioned earlier in my first supply chain gap analysis, the HR is important. So we need to produce more fish nutritionists, and our feeding formula should be more species specific, because that will bring the change in the industry. Because ultimately, at the end of the day, per kg cost at what value we are producing would be the bottom line for the farmer, and of course that's the bottom line for the business. Farmer awareness about feed, because we all know the people at the moment, they are using less than 1% of the feed. So there is again an opportunity. We need to deliver back to the farmer that what the benefits he can get from the feed and what value addition in terms of profitability he can get through the feeding. Because at the moment they consider that fish when being fed on the feed, it becomes costly. So this is something, is the area where we need to work, and where we need to deliver back the values to the farmer. And of course, when we talk about the absence of the QA labs, this is very important. Anyone who is using the feed, he must have a right, or he can check his feed, and those quality parameters must be defined in advance, so that the farmer should not have any confusion. And at the moment, this is something, is a phenomena which is again a limiting factor for the feed millers as well, because this is more like a credit market and price sensitive market. So longer term, we need to think on this, and shorter term, we have to adopt the ways where we can secure the credit and we can secure the pricing side. Of course, raw material and ingredient pricing, availability and volatility is globally linked, and some of the time we don't get the products, which makes our feed more costly. And when we talk about the farm status, the type of farming right now in Pakistan, we do have the extensive, semi-intensive and the intensive IPRs and laws things are being working in Pakistan. So what all this means is, this means that now we are consolidating our small farming into bigger volumes, which means that we are going to produce the bigger volume, and we can at least be in a position where we can track and we will put the traceability on those things. But parallelly, are we aware, are we working on the fact that what could be the potential challenges when we are moving into the intensive farming system? Are we ready to produce such volumes, and market is ready to pay back? So these are the things that we need to work on that, because ultimately the farmer is looking for the quality fry and they're looking for the genetics, because right now maybe it is initially start of the business in terms of the commercialization, but later on the species and the quality of the seed would be the prime object of the farmer, and the competition would fall among the qualities. So this is something very important. And sometimes we talk about the quality of feed, and sometimes we should make it available and make it understandable to the farmer that how he can be using this feed and what should be the feeding practices on the farm, and access to the market and supply chain. This is something very important, because once you go at the farm level, when you ask from him that what is the biggest challenge, so among the biggest challenge, one of the important challenges is the market access in the supply chain system, because sometimes because of the supply chain system and the market access, he's not getting the good premium, he's not getting what he has been working for a whole year. So this is something, the area where we need to work on that. So all your efforts, all your hard work are totally dependent on your market price. What are the parameters? Is it demand and supply rule? What is it is something like well-established awareness among the people that they should eat fish. How we can bring in the young people to eat fish, because this is a challenge. I can share the story from my own home that if I try to get my children to eat fish, they have the reluctancy. Why? Because of the adore, because of the not routine item in the home. That's the reason their taste and their liking is not developed. So this is again area where we can work on that, and we need to have good human resource on the farm. So in this case, the academia and the research institute, they can play a hell of an important role. We can work on the master trainers. We can work on the skilled workers training workshops in the program. And at the end of the day, farm economics and management, that is the bottom line. So anyone who starts, he must understand the farm economics and the management. That would be one of the successful factors which can help in the farming side. So when we talk about the processing status, so I'm just curious to know about this fact that this is an emerging and the need of the hour. Because why I'm saying this, the fish, majority of the fish is being sold in the mandi, and the continuous quality of fish supply, that is the cry of the day from everywhere. Either it's a consumer, either it's a processor, or even if you're talking about the international market or the export market. So maintaining shelf life means that after harvesting till mandi or till processing, all the supply chain systems need to be equipped with the latest technologies in order to preserve the quality of fish. So specific species for processing, this is another debate and questions that being the part of the aqua industry, we should discuss, and we should do the brainstorming in that. Because see, there are two areas of demand. One is the local and one is the export market. So we need to look out that if we are going into the processing, which means that we need to make sure that the fish should be available for the local population and for the export market. So if you're talking about the export market, so what species we are rearing in Pakistan and what is the demand on the other side. Again, HR, we need to develop the resources so that they can come up with the good management system in these lines. So here again is a question. Processing is an opportunity for local or export market. So I think this is another very interesting topic and need of the hour. We should, as a team, we should come up with, and I request to Dr. Mudassir, we should again launch some seminar or some debate on this, because this is very important. Because when we talk about the international market, we talk about the quality, we talk about the traceability, and we talk about the cost, price, everything. So can the local market or the local consumer is not looking forward for these things. So this is something debate we need to work on that, because we are 230 million people in Pakistan, which means that there are enough mouths to feed with a good protein, and this should be worked out. So this is the element which comes in the aqua industry is in HR. So we do have a good number of grads and postgraduates coming in the aqua side, but This is again my personal opinion, and I think I could be wrong in this fact, but we need more aqua-related courses, and there should be internship drives, things that bring the practical hand-on experience, market orientation, and the young grads or the young student, they should be given enough confidence that this is a big industry and there is a big room for their professional development, and they should be the main streamlined soldiers in the coming time. So such sort of confidence we have to give, and these come through the internships, and we can also convert some of the conventional farming into the modernized farming, because when any professional think of adopting some job on these lines, when I look at the conventional farming, so there is always a question, and there is always a frustration comes in that what I would add value to this conventional farming. So I think here is again is a time where we all should think together, and we should work on the farmer improvement, and we should work on the modern technology, so that all our graduates, they could be well placed in good position. Of course, this is one of the important things which I always like in my personal life and in my management style, that reward and recognition. This is something is one of the fantastic motivation. You can push anyone to the level, you can push it to the extra mile. So if you want to see a real difference, and if you want that somebody wants to make a real difference in life, please reward them and recognize those people who are doing a good job. So either he's a student, either he's from academia, either he's from government, either he's from private side. So there should be cumulatively, because today we have professionals all over the Pakistan and international professionals are sitting around. There must be some annual recognition ceremonies or reward ceremonies for those who done something good for the aqua industry. What will this will pay back to us? Number one, it will create a healthy competition. Number two, we will get good professionals. And number three, we will think about the industry. And at the end of the day, we will think relevant to the industry, which means that for the benefit of the farmer, for the benefit of the consumer, and on over and above for the benefit of our country. So lack of organized and commercial aqua industry, of course, now we are moving towards where industry is moving into a commercial side. And of course, I have every confidence in this fact that aqua will lead with very fastly over the other industries in the coming year time. So what next in Pakistan? This is something is important. As I started with my presentation, fish is a future protein. So this fact is well established fact based on my working, and I'm sure all the seniors who are sitting over here, they have numerous years experience. They will endorse this point. Why? Because we have increasing population. It is supporting the rural economy. We have the opportunity to utilize the barren land, and we can convert those resources in efficiently, addressing the malnutrition and stunting. Everyone knows that 40% plus stunting growth comes up, and we need to work on the protein sources, and this is one of the best and source of protein. We can address this malnutrition and stunting through this. Poverty alleviation, medium-sized farmer development. Again, we have the people who are coming with the degrees, and a lot of young population is available with Pakistan. So if we can produce the entrepreneurs, so which means that this will not only create self-employment, but also alleviate the poverty as well. So generating export revenues, tapping the international market. So again, there must be more debate, there must be more consensus, there must be more thinking together in a way that what species we need, what countries we should tap, what are the parameters, how internationally we can get ourselves recognized, how we can get certifications. And these all should be worked now. We should not do these things once we already overwhelmed with the production. We are facing the challenge of overproduction. Local market is not responding, and then in order to save our skin, we are moving towards the international market. So international market should need a plan now. So gateway for the jobs and develop entrepreneurs, already I mentioned this, and of course we are blessed, and this is an again opportunity for all the aqua professional stakeholders that government has export friendly. So what are the roadmap? If you look at few roadmaps, we need R&D, which means that local need-based projects, we should work on that. So parallelly, aqua zones, HR possibilities, all of these things are very important. I'm sure I'm running time, but local regulatory, quality control, market consumer, these all are the roadmaps which at the end of the day will support us. So guys, I'm closing because there is enough we can talk, enough we can share, but at the end of the day, the loud and clear message from my side and from my A-team side is, let's make a difference by adding fish into our meal. Thank you very much, and again, happy World Fishy Days. Thank you very much.